Okay, Damien, you're up next.
Hello, City Councillors and City staff. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you. My name is Damien Ash, and I am a renter in Ward 2 at 100 Ferguson Avenue South, and a member of ACORN Hamilton's downtown chapter since 2018. ACORN is a community group made up of low and moderate income tenants who fight for social and economic justice. We have 4 chapters in Hamilton. Today we have 25 tenants delegating today and 8 ally organizations joining us in support. ACORN has been fighting for bold municipal tenant protection policies, an anti-renoviction bylaw, and a strong tenant defense fund for 3 years. Our members are delegating today to urge the city to move forward on these protections. Renoviction is a word you will hear a lot today, so I'd like to start by giving its definition so we're all on the same page. Renoviction refers to the tactic or legal efforts that lead up to a tenant being forced to move out of their home under the guise of major renovations. The renovations that landlords do can vary from total gut jobs to a quick cosmetic makeover, which most likely, let's be honest, makes up most of the renovations. Regardless, if it was about renovating and repairs, landlords would maintain these buildings to begin with and would work with tenants to do the work without displacing people from their homes. But it is not. Renovations are about displacing tenants and bringing in new tenants at increase of double or close to triple the rent. The building I live in is similar in age to other buildings where people are being renovicted. Yet my building has done major renovations. We knocked off the balconies and rebuilt them. We replaced the main water supply risers and drains, making it possible to install dishwashers for the first time in the building's history. Bell came in and ran fiber internet and cable to every unit. They updated the fire alarm system, ran all new wires for that in every unit, rebuilt the entire lobby, mailroom, and super's office, painted and recarpeted all common areas, replaced the water heater and heating systems, replaced all windows and doors in each unit, fixed and in some cases updated individual air handlers and units, plus much more, all without displacing a single person. If my building can do this, why can't others? As things are now, without any rules about raising rents between tenancies, landlords are incentivized to create high turnover, and they commonly use renovictions to do so. Many landlords will try to buy tenants out by offering a large sum if they agree to leave. This is not helpful to those on ODSP, OW, or low income, as it will be clawed back from their social assistance or may disqualify them from programs like the food bank or maybe the Ontario electricity rebate program. And ACORN is demanding the city to do more to protect tenants and put a stop to renovictions. Here are our demands, which we believe will help to accomplish this. So 1, a citywide landlord licensing program to ensure healthy homes and restrict renovictions based on the Rent Safe program in Toronto and the anti-renoviction policy from New Westminster, BC. The burden of tenant placement is put on the landlord. If landlords want vacancy for renovations, they must accommodate tenants in alternative housing, comparable size and location for the duration of the work at the same rent, or with a tenant's agreement, enter into a new lease at a different but similar unit at the same rent. New Westminster was the first municipality in Canada to pass local policy against renoviction. While they did repeal it because of stronger provincial changes, they led the way in deciding that if other levels of government won't stand up, then as a city, they had to. We are in the same situation. 2, we need tracking for when apartment buildings are sold. An immediate proactive tenant outreach to inform tenants of their rights and the city's anti-renoviction rules. 3, ACORN members have been using the Tenant Defense Fund since it was expanded to cover renoviction in 2019, but improvements and more funding is greatly needed. We need a meaningful increase to annual funding to the Tenant Defense Fund. It has been $50,000 since 2019. Without a significant increase, the fund won't cover the increasing need for tenants to have legal representation to protect their homes. Expand the TDF to cover N12's tenant maintenance applications, T6, and allow tenants to pursue other legal processes at the Landlord and Tenant Board, local planning appeal tribunal, divisional court, or other administrative tribunal or court with the intent of preserving affordable rental housing in Hamilton. Provide funding to tenant groups facing renoviction to hire a professional to dispute the need for vacancy. Add capacity to the TDF for tenant groups that need help with outreach and organizing their buildings. Create a vetted list of paralegals that have expertise and experience in representing tenants in above guideline rent increases, N13s, N12s, and T6s to be shared with tenant groups. With a long-term improvement to transition the TDF to be similar to the City of Toronto Defense Program, now called Tenant Support Program, where under the new program, tenant groups can directly access legal services from a designated legal organization. For example, in Hamilton, the designated service could be the Hamilton Legal Clinic. The transition would reduce barriers for tenant groups accessing legal representation and help level the playing field. To summarize, housing is a human right, and with the rent increases out of control, getting renovated is a sentence to homelessness for many. The city must step up and protect renters from this fate. ACORN has provided members of the committee with the memo, Municipal Powers to Regulate Against Renovictions. I hope you all have a chance to read it. Thank you for your time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Damien, for your comprehensive presentation. Any questions for the delegate? Councillor Kretsch, please.
Thanks. Your delegation was very comprehensive. You covered a lot there. I just wanted to ask, further to my comment earlier that I read out, you made a distinction in your delegation between a renoviction and a renovation. And could you just underline that for us, where you see the difference there?
Yeah, well, renovation doesn't mean renoviction. Many people renovate their homes even while living in it. This new notion that you have to be out of your unit to renovate anything is kind of absurd. Like, people have always renovated while living.
Councillor.
Thanks, and this is just an opportunity for you in case you wanted to say this. Did you have any reaction to hearing that the association I referred to earlier is now just like plainly saying that renovictions are going to continue to happen?
Yeah, I think that was very telling. That they came right out and said this is happening and it's just going to keep happening. So I think, you know, as a city, we need to step in and put the leash on this. We can't just let them have free reign to do whatever they want.
Councillor.
Thank you so much for your delegation, Damien. Appreciate you being here a lot.
Great, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Any further? Councillor Nan? This time it was right?
This time I did press the button. Whatever, WebEx has been, or eScribe has been interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you through you, Chair, for coming in to delegate today. And I also wanted to just pull out the fact that in your delegation, you gave very clear evidence of what is the appropriate way by which building owners can engage in what you've outlined to be really major renovations.
Yeah.
You're not talking about aesthetic stuff. You're talking about updating an older stock building and bringing it up to current code and beyond in terms of addressing some of the what sounded like inefficient existing works inside the building. So if I got it right, this included all piping. It included enabling tenants to have the appropriate data that they needed in terms of Wi-Fi enabling. Laundry, heating, redoing the water, redoing the doors, the windows, and your balconies. Did I miss anything?
That's all I could think of. Like, we did, it was like 3 years of renovations.
That's incredible.
Where, yeah, so they redid like everything in the building, and nobody was displaced.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. That's my only point that I really wanted to underscore. I think that it often gets conflated when we're talking about this issue in the city. In terms of the practice of renoviction. And so you've made a very clear case, and I think that there are landlords out there and building owners who know how to take responsibility for what they're responsible for and do the right thing. And I appreciate you bringing that forward in your delegation today, as well as the demands. Thank you.
Thank you,
Councillor. Thank you, Damien, for attending today and giving us this presentation.
Thank you, everyone.